website. We need lots of food
trying to find
and water
a big parking lot,
donuts.
pulling over and waiting for police.
So I came through.
No, we got it under control.
And not only that,
guys up there, they're going, this is not coordinated, it's going to be ugly. Well, it's okay if it's ugly at first. I mean, because what do you expect what do you expect with 7 guys getting an operation like this up and running in 10 days? I mean, it's tough, it really is.
So I want these guys in the intersection.
I know, we got to get to them. Hang on.
Somebody run up and tell Gary.
Tell him you got a highway unit that just showed up.
You already filled out your form, right? Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, your guys just... We got one highway unit that just showed up. There's a fire department truck.
We got a bunch of guys just showed up, sweet. Okay, so the Holland Tunnel is closed, is that correct? Okay, if nothing else, I mean, if we could even just get one runner in the back of a police car, one runner with the flag, you know, just to carry it through. We don't need the whole procession to go through. They can go up to the bridge or something.
We don't want to go down. We couldn't go.
There's no ground zero escort. We're as far as this procession is concerned. If we want to stop and we have some firefighters on board that can escort just the flag and a runner or two down, that's a different story.
Take as many as they'll let us.
Hey, Gary, if we let the whole thing go, we'll go. Let's go.
Wait. Gary, don't ask the question if you don't want to hear the answer, man. Tell them we're ready to go in.
No cameras, please do not pick up anything. Souvenirs, it's a crime scene. If you pick up something from a crime scene, you will be arrested because you're taking evidence from a crime scene. Let's make this very comfortable, very easy. We'll work hard today.
My son and I walked down to Ground Zero. We paid our last respects to the people down there. On our way out, we had passed a tree with some leaves on it. This leaf is covered with the ashes from the Twin Towers. I brought this leaf home with me because I plan to laminate this leaf, and I'm going to put these people in my Bible, and that's where I'm going to keep them safe.
You can feel the sorrow in the air. You can smell it. It's an acrid smell. But out of that smoke and the ruins, there's also a lot of hope. And I think that's what a lot of people really are there for.
The fear that we have now is basically the fear that most of the country has lived with, most of the world has lived with for hundreds of years. You know, we worry about our mortgage payment or if we can afford a new SUV, and most people in other countries worry about if they can get breakfast.
Let me put it this way. One of the canine officers described America as one big, happy golden retriever up to this point. Now we've got to be kind of a German Shepherd with an attitude, you know, and we've got to do that in the distinctly American way without violating people's rights and without trotting on those things that make this country great. But we've all changed, and I don't think we're ever going to go back the way we were.
My brother-in-law, MIT engineer, made this bowl. It's the first time it's actually been on it since I've seen it. Yeah, tie a good knot. It's got to go all the way across. I'm just tying granny knots in here. Run up and run back. We want to see what it looks like.
My name's Todd Wissing. I'm a first officer with American Airlines. I'm one of the basically 4 guys who's running the Americans United flag run.
I was flying with Mike at the beginning of the month, and he came up with this idea. I told him he was crazy. You're crazy enough to do it. I'm crazy enough to go along, and here we are.
I started with the idea. I told Frank in a bar. We flew separate trips, and we met in a bar up in Pelham.
We stopped for beer that night, and we're sitting there, and Mike said, "Wouldn't it be great if we run a flag across the country?" And I said, "Yeah, that'd be great."
As soon as I heard word that they were putting this together, I jumped at the chance to be involved. I'm a casual runner, and I figured it would be a good way to use the little skill I have to honor my fellow flight attendants who were on the Flight 11 and 77.
We need to get this flag moving. We're already late. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Governor Jane Swift, Governor of the state of Massachusetts.
I am very, very honored that they've asked me to present the flag to the first runner as we start this journey in Boston and finish it in Los Angeles.
The way we think of it, this is the continuing service of Flights 11 and Flights 175, Boston to Los Angeles, and this time they're going to be non-stop. If we flopped out of Boston, we wouldn't have any credibility and we wouldn't have any support. I mean, right now, it's harder and harder to get support. It's easier and easier to get support as you go down the road because it gets bigger. It's a snowball. Mike! Oh, man!
Hello, young man. You need a flag? Why not? Put it in your back pocket.
Weepy-eyed. Pretty proud.
It was nice to see the firemen lined up. Hard for them, I'm sure. It's got to touch them more than it touches any of us. But it was nice. I'm glad my son could be here. He won't remember, but hopefully it'll make a better place for him.
Morning.
There's a whole sad, melancholy, bitter tone in New York. There's a lull. It's still hushed, like on the subways and on the buses and walking around. People still really feel a great loss.
What I don't do is I don't get caught up in it. I don't watch the TV. I don't watch the TV because if you watch the TV, then you're gonna be living fear and misery. What I do is stay home, read my Bible.
Well, I'm just kind of getting back a little bit to normal again, but never be the same, I think. I just didn't sleep right. I eat good and all that, but still I feel it very sad. But we will overcome it, and life will go on because this is a powerful, strong country.
We are a couple miles north of the Maryland border on October 14th.
I think it's a sense of pride, seeing what's been done in the past and where it's going, and I think it's just makes you feel good to come out and put out the effort and good cause, and the price of freedom's pretty high.
Well, I think we're in northeast Baltimore.
Northeast Baltimore, heading almost south. Head down towards College Park, Laurel. On into D.C. eventually.
Today we present a flag that's been handled with care over part of our great nation. We began on October 11th, leaving Boston, the departure city of Flights 11 and 175, and arriving in Los Angeles, the arrival city of 3 of our 4 aircraft. We will arrive on November 11th, Veterans Day, as we symbolically finish the trip for our fallen comrades.
We're going to head back over across the mall, exchange the flag with our Virginia folks, and we have Tom Heidenberger, whose wife passed away on the flight that crashed into the Pentagon. He's going to receive the flag on behalf of the Virginia delegation.
My name is Tom Heidenberger, and I'm the surviving spouse of Michelle Heidenberger, who perished at the Pentagon on September 11th aboard Flight 77. It carried the American flag to show solidarity for the 33 crew members that perished on September 11th, for the 180 people that died at the Pentagon that day, as well as the 4,000 some people that died at the World Trade Center. It was their sacrifice brought us all together.
It's a sad situation that we can't unite and live together until a tragedy happens. Then once a tragedy happens in America, we come together, and as soon as it's over, we split up. You go your way, I go mine. And it's really sad.
Great, we're right on time, and we're at, well, let me see, we're at what, 50.5 miles, 50.5 miles into Virginia. What's up? You better talk fast, because the signal, this is one hilly state.
You can tell, I mean, as it's getting further down the line, it just becomes more automated. I mean, they've had a little more time to get things together, and it's just going a whole lot more smoothly.
I think everybody feels all across the United States that, gosh, I wish I could do something. You know, this is a travesty. What can I do? And you know, you give money, you give a donation, you think about it, you talk about it, you pray about it, and it's not fulfilling. There's some physical act that has to be done. So that's another great thing about this run.
I will always feel proud to be an American. I love what America stands for. I believe in it with all that I am.
Thank you! Let's give a big round of applause!
That we're a free people, that we're a government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
This show is the American people show. This is all about the people of the United States and how they responded to an adverse event.
It's terrible what has happened. I'm heartbroken by it. I don't think I will ever recover from it. I had to go out and buy this flag when this happened, and it's a shame that I didn't already have it.
We need to get all you guys down to North Carolina, watch the Golden Knights jump in if you can in Raleigh. I'm so glad and so thankful to have this kind of a reception here in Raleigh. I'm glad to have the United States Marine Corps, and I was proud to have run with those guys. I'd like to have a nice "Hoorah" for those.
These are signify the flight numbers, the crashing of American Airlines, and also some of the flight attendants that were on the planes that crashed from American Airlines as well. Has their names and ages. Some of them have where they're from, their hometowns. This will be accompanying the flag all the way to the final destination.
Totally proud, guys.
Okay, 3,150 miles to go. We love you, North Carolina. Great job.
glad to see the flag. Yeah, I just got my Spanish peanuts last Friday, and that's what everybody likes, them little bitty Spanish peanuts. And I got my first shipment of them last Friday, because they come in late this year on account of the drought they had up in Oklahoma, and that's where I get them from. Of course, I got both kinds too. I got the Valencias, the big peanuts, and the Spanish. But the Spanish is a better seller than the big ones.
I want to know what's going on. I just wanted to come and ask because everybody was saying, what are they doing? Good. But that's a great thing. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it is. So you're going to literally run this flag to where?
It started in Boston on October 11th, and it's supposed to be in Los Angeles on November 11th.
And how does that happen? You just run it? You're literally running it?
All the way down the East Coast and across the country.
How do you coordinate something like that?
We're going to tell them we're going to need some fresh legs later. We're going to need the fresh legs.
Just tell them to jump in.
You want to get in?
We're going to need the fresh legs later. We're going to need fresh legs later.
We got 4.5 miles to go in 22 minutes. We got to pick up the pace. If you can't hang, don't spread out. Get in the vans. Suck it up. Pick up the pace, please.
Don't yell at the runners.
No, but I'm telling you, we need the fresh legs. It's like that's what it's. We're going to need fresh legs, guys.
In the door.
Mike, ready?
We will definitely need fresh legs in about a mile, okay? So, please.
I'm Mark Honeybell. I'm the guy that they called and they said they wanted a website set up, and I said, well, I think I can do that. And very early on, I watched a news report, and they interviewed people on the street, and I was just so impressed they got it. It wasn't about politics. It wasn't about anything. It was just about showing some patriotism for the whole country. And you know, you read some of the things that people say, and it just blows you away. They get it, and it's really impressive, and it's reassuring.
All right, here we go. Got it. Good luck, you guys.
Thank you.
Catherine.
Mr. and Mrs.
Mr. and Mrs. Kevin and Catherine Jacob. Yeah.
It was back in rural Alabama, and you know, we were driving by some pretty desolate areas where people coming out of their houses and their trailers and stuff, and it's just so neat because they didn't just happen by us. They were out there with their pickup trucks, sitting on the tailgates with lawn chairs and coolers, and they were waiting on us.
We take our freedom for granted. People don't understand that freedom is not what it is here in all countries. So just when the flag came by, that's our symbol to rally. That's the symbol of freedom for us.
Whenever I do see the flag now, it's like it means a lot more to me than it did before September 11th. I mean, pre-September 11th, I'd look at the flag and I'd be like, yeah, I'm an American, that's cool. But now I look at the flag and I say, yes, I'm an American and I'm proud of it, and I will always be proud to be in this country.
You got to be patriotic. And all these people, they got their heart in the right spot. They know what's going on.
pilots. They started with a United pilot and an American airline pilot. Started from Boston, and we're running an American flag across the country, ending up in L.A., and it's in our area. They're in the southeast right now. As a matter of fact, Todd, if I'm not mistaken, the flag is in Birmingham today, right?
That's right, Rick. We're just past 3rd Avenue West 15th Street, going towards Bessemer, and we'll continue on towards Tuscaloosa on Highway 11.
Have you ever run with anything like this before? I mean, it's hard enough to run down the road in the hot weather, but what was it like?
It kind of hampers your running style carrying something, and that's what I was worried about with my arms giving out before my legs did. But it's not that bad, it's not that heavy, and pride will carry you a long way.
I was standing by the RV, and this couple walked up to me, and you could tell that they weren't, they were underprivileged, and that they didn't have very much. And they said, "Hey, we saw on television what you guys were doing today," and the guy said, he said, "Well, I don't have a whole lot of money." He said, "But I filled my car up with gas here," and he said, "That's going to get me where I need to go." He said, "But this is the last bit of money I have." And he said, "My wife and I, we scraped through the car," and he said, "This is the last." He said, "We just want to give this to y'all." And he handed it to me, and it was 57 cents.
Join me here as we officially welcome you to our hometown of Meridian, Mississippi in Lauderdale County. I want you to know that on behalf of the people of Meridian and Lauderdale County, we are proud to serve as one of your stops on the Flag Across America, and thank you for having the energy and the will and the vision to focus our attention on the flag from coast to coast. Thank you.
I want to do a quick interview and then go change the clothes, and I'll meet you on the set. All right.
It's the whole country doing it. It's the whole country doing it. It really is.
It just means the world to me. And it was a privilege, Lou Pennybaker, to run with these people behind that flag. It just...
I'm really glad you're part of it. Glad you participated.
When I found out about the flag being carried from Boston to Los Angeles in memory of those that lost their lives on September the 11th, it overwhelmed me, because I understood what it meant to remember. In 1971, I met a young man named Michael Blassie, who was a wonderful young man who was serving his country in the Air Force, at Columbus Air Force Base. He was a student pilot, and I was a junior in college. We dated for a year. He left in January of 1972 to serve his country proudly. He went to Vietnam in January, and in May, his plane was crashed, and there was no recovery. So his family and all his friends and I, we had no answers. We didn't know. So for 26 years, we didn't know where Michael was. We didn't have anything. And 26 years later, in 1998, Michael was found. He was found in the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington as a representative for the Vietnam era.
We're letting all the folks across the country run the flag now. We don't. I don't need to touch that flag again. Not that I don't want to. It's just that you know, everybody else is carrying it. We had hoped that we'd get to the point that if we dropped dead, that the flag would still make it on time.
For once in the history of the South, color element has been put on the back burner. You know, it's sad that something as catastrophic as the bombing of the Twin Towers had to take place for folks to realize that to be an American, the only thing you have in common is red blood.
Although it's not the halfway point, symbolically, Mississippi divides the country, so we're excited about getting the other side. Mississippi on this side. I heard Louisiana's buying the beers on the other side. Hey. We're on a scheduled break.
guys, go to work. Hey, finish your beers. Finish your beers. All right, I'll finish with you. What?
Death of Louisiana, man, and the world famous little place. And I would like that flag coming through. You know, I was proud to even touch it. It has made my heart feel different, you know, the September 11th deal. It's bad. I couldn't believe it actually happened on our soil. There's a lot of people in trouble over families, without families now, you know, and that's bad. That's real bad.
Hey, these F-15 guys are kicking butt. They don't give a crap about. They're all-weather military guys. We had a lightning strike, wasn't close enough. didn't even make us jump.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah. Who's the flag guy in the middle?
That's where you play, Kobe. Change the whole outlook on your way you live your life and how you feel about everything.
You look at things a lot differently now.
I believe that no one can bring us down. I farm here in Tallulah. We were picking cotton right whenever we heard y'all were coming through Mounds, Louisiana.
In this letter, Mike could have asked for the stuff I was talking to this lady on the phone tonight. He could have asked for Don Carty to hold a private fundraiser for his friends. He's telling him Crandall's going to run with us.
Oh, no, he should have done that.
See, that you shouldn't have.
We'll get there. I mean, it's frustrating, and this kind of stuff. It's like, it may seem like the end of the world, but you know, everybody wants everything perfect. And we don't have time for perfect. And then you get, you know, they get the message, and they know. And they know Mike is not a professional fundraiser. He's not a professional organizer. He's an airline pilot trying to do something for his guys.
Guys, we're leaving the walkers behind. The runners, you need to stay to the right, stay in a group. Who's ever got the flag? Don't get adrenaline rush. You're leaving everybody behind. Occasionally, look over your shoulder. Keep it about a minute. Pass it around. Let everybody in the group have the flag. Okay?
Is this Birmingham? I don't know.
It touched me. I felt joy, love, see everybody come together, the flag come in the stadium, watch everybody stand up. Some people prayed, some people sang, and everybody saluted. I think our future looks really good, looks great.
Yeah, sure thing, Brian. We have about 3,500 registered runners.
We have another 5,000 or so that are just supporting. We have about 20,000, we're guessing, school children that we've let touch the flag, and we can't count how many great Americans have been out here with us. It's definitely over 100,000 folks.
Really unbelieving, because in this day and age, I didn't think anything like that would ever happen. I had felt that I'd seen all the tragedy in the United States that we could see, but I was wrong. You never know what's going to happen now.
Start against the fence over there. As you can see, there's row after row of Beetles. I believe there's 6 rows of Beetles there.
Oh, there's over 4,000 Volkswagens in this yard. Different years, different models, different styles. This is one of a kind. 2 Volkswagen Beetles put together to create the ultimate Volkswagen limousine.
It's been overwhelming, and we've been getting a lot of support all along, but we're in heartland America. I mean, these guys know what patriotism's about. We're not teaching them anything new. We're learning from them, and as you can see, it's whole towns are turning out.
From here, we go up, and we'll be at the Murrah Building at 6 p.m. tonight. We're going to have a moment of silence and a prayer at the Murrah Building, and then move on back towards Texas.
When I read about the run in the newspaper, I thought, well, if they're coming here, then I'll come and run a little ways for Lakeisha. Her mom lives in New Orleans, so we communicate by phone and email, so she wants anything done, she just calls me and, I'm here. When she talked about how difficult it was to travel from New Orleans to Oklahoma City, to come and do things for her daughter's chair, and I thought, well, I can help her out with that. And I guess it was maybe just about 6 weeks later, it was Lakeisha's birthday. And so I made a wreath and some things, and we brought balloons down and put that out for her birthday. And she had just been transferred here and had come to the Murrah Building to report, and was upstairs processing paperwork, and she was here at 9 o'clock in the morning when it happened. I live about 20 miles away, and it rattled my bedroom, my windows in my house, and just really quite unbelievable, especially to come and see the building that day. Unbelievable. Well, it's just a reminder, every time I come here, it's just a reminder. And I try to drive that point home with my daughter, to live a happy life, because it could be me coming to see an
I guess they're going 152 all the way to, no, it's supposed to go to LA, yeah.
They said you wanted to see this.
Oh, wow. That was the one, mate. Oh, wow. That's considered an F4, category F4?
Yes, F4.
Wow.
She was probably a mile away from that.
Tuesday, October 9th, about 5:30, the first whistle sounded. And then about 5:30, they said F3 was coming straight through the middle of Cordell.
It is getting massive now because it is.
Oh my God. 350 to 500 homes were destroyed, probably a third of Cordell's population. And we followed it all the way through town until it got to 14th and Crider out there. And we caught the picture of the whole funnel, and at that time my son turned around and saw my brother's house was hit, so we dropped the camera and went to his house to help him. So they had a cellar down in their house, and the whole house caved in on top of the cellar. His Explorer was on top of the house sideways. The next door neighbor's DeLorean was on top of his Explorer. So we cleared out an area, probably a 3-foot hole in diameter, so they could climb through it. It was him, his wife, 2 daughters, and 2 friends in that cellar at the time. And he said he knew that it took the roof, but he didn't know about the rest of the house. And when he got out, his eyes, you could tell he was shocked.
It works though. Helping out the nation, I guess. Doing what I can, my part. As long as we're here all together.
Go guys! Have at him, have at him. Have at him. Go ahead and run with him.
I'm an artist here in New Mexico, and I came here to go to college about almost 20 years ago, and got a degree in petroleum engineering, worked offshore 10 years, and then decided to be an artist, so here I am. I was a wood carver in the beginning, and then I became a silversmith jeweler, and then I went to glass, and then I went to heavy metal. We visited Manhattan just a couple of weeks ago, and we spent about 5 days there. And we were going to a show on Broadway, and I had heard about this artist that the minute this event happened, he had a big bronze sculpture of a fireman, which the state of Missouri, I believe, had commissioned, and he tore up the check and he immediately delivered the artwork to New York, donated it to the city of New York.
We're going to be going to Albuquerque first thing in the morning. They are now, I understand, in
28 days, and we've had 27.5 days of country music. Frank called balls on his own partner. You shouldn't do that. Another thing is, you can't point balls. It's all right.
And it's tough. It's tough for people that haven't ever found themselves in leadership positions.
And my intent was to stay in on the run through Phoenix, but I started to get really worried, especially about the press out in LA, getting some pre-press. So I flew to Los Angeles and started putting together the ceremony.
We're looking forward to getting to LA and meeting family and friends and supporters, and you know, it's going to be sure when it's all over, but on the other hand, we got a lot of people waiting for us at home.
I'm going home when we're done with this, and I've got 2 weeks of vacation at the end of November, and I owe my wife 100% of that time.
Since we've been saying we're going to finish with 50 flags as a unified nation, we went ahead and bought 17 flags that we were missing. We bought the 2x3s because they were about half the price of the other ones. And these guys are now saying, oh, well, it doesn't look good, so we'll just finish with 30. No, that's not it at all. I don't even care how it looks. I want it to be some, you know, I want the symbolism of finishing with the 50 states behind us.
I study galaxies. They're about 65 million light years away, okay? So what we're studying now, looking at them, is the light that left them 65 million years ago. 65 million years ago is when the asteroid crashed into Earth and killed all the dinosaurs. So I think, you know, if it's a philosophy, it's just a realization of the immensity of this whole universe out there that we're a small part of. And when you study things and you kind of try to put them in that kind of perspective, it makes you realize, you know, that how fragile this place is and that we're all in it together. There's really big things going on out there and we're just a very small piece of it.
I've grown up in the Mormon religion, and you know, about every young man, you know, they're asked to go on a mission when they're 19, but you got to make that decision for yourself. And so, you know, I made a decision how I like to make most decisions. I prayed to God, you know, asked for his guidance, and he said, you know, going on a mission is what you should be doing.
I mean, whatever your God is, you know, whether you believe in Muhammad, you know, Islam or Christianity or whatever, that there's something out there a lot bigger than us, and we ought to learn to, you know, do a little bit better at getting along here.
People need some, you know, religion in their life. Talk about, you know, the Savior and what he's done for us. It can bring some comfort into people's lives.
Personally, I don't have a religion. I'm agnostic, and you know, in some sense, I mean, one way of looking at it is saying, well, I'm a scientist. I'm trained as a scientist, so what I tend to do is I look for scientific evidence. And religion and spirituality is something that there really isn't a lot of evidence for or against. It's just what people choose to believe.
The church gets us this car.
The church provides the car.
Yeah. We pay for our missions, and then out of the money that we pay, the church gives us the money we need for stuff, like necessities and groceries, apartment, all that stuff. It's pretty cool because you get to meet a lot of different people, a lot of different ideas you get to hear from, because you know you meet different religious people, and just different ideas from different areas. So it's pretty cool.
They didn't have a chance to do what they wanted to do at the last minute, and this is about living. So the question is not, I think the quote goes, the question is not whether we will die, but how we will live. So this is my little corner of living for now, to honor all these souls.
Is there a top to this hill?
Lately, the last few states, we're seeing about a 30% turnout on folks that registered and folks that actually show up, so we'll make it happen. We knew it might come down to this. We're ready. I hope so. We're planning on, we're going to do a lot of running in this state, I can tell you right now. You know what happened? There were some folks that wanted to ride on horseback with the flag here, and I guess apparently a lot of runners signed up that were friends of those people. And we just said, you know, we're not, it's a foot race on foot, not on horse.
It's called a flag run, not a flag ride.
A medic in Vietnam, he was shot 5 times, once in the back, 4 times across the leg. He's 100% disabled. He was so moved by what we're doing, he gave us his license plate, a Purple Heart. It's only given to combat wounded veterans. And it was really favorite souvenir so far, you know.
And I think it's a fantastic thing. It's really something to stand with or stand behind. It's called Bear. I own Rancho de Lobos. We raise wolves.
I've watched people for years. Now I watch wolves. And I think I'd rather watch wolves because they're more honest. In other words, what they do is honest. They don't sneak around behind you and pretend to be your buddy and bite you when you're not looking. These guys don't do that. They're going to nail you. They'll nail you right in front. And that's what makes a difference with them. I mean, it's a different feeling you have around them. People are similar to wolves in some aspect because you have leaders and you have followers. And you got to stay in your place because the laws keep you in your place. And that's pretty much the same thing. They have their own unwritten laws, but they enforce them.
just another school that this is awesome.
When you wear this uniform, a lot of things you have to do and you have to go through, and you do it because you love it. I think the future for our country is very bright. I think we'll be stronger as a country from September 11th on. And not that we needed a wake-up call. I think our country was already great, but I think it's about time the rest of the world's going to find out how great we are. And I think this is our moment of glory.
Our country will survive. We always have, we always will.
We didn't expect a homecoming parade in those years, but we didn't expect people, how should I say, screaming at you, hollering, pothead, rapist, baby killer.
When I came back, I was kind of sad because when I got off the bus, the first thing I heard from people is I was a woman, a baby killer. We didn't kill. We did our job over there, you know, and it hurt us. It hurt me a lot, you know. So I took the uniform off because I was called down pretty bad, you know. So I don't wear the uniform, and it's just sadness. They told me that, you know. We weren't baby killers over there in Vietnam. We just did a job that we had to do through our government. Right?
That was hard on a lot of us, and it still is.
Yeah, I've got a daughter who was in the Air Force, and I've got a son in the Marines, and I'm proud of them. And they've told me they'd go back and fight for this country again, and that makes me feel good. My heart just drops. Right on.
I tell you, losing these people here, I'm proud of them.
Me too. I got a son in the Marine Corps.
That's what we did, what they did here. It's a shame. It's a shame what they've done.
It is.
But I'll fight for this country again if they need me. I told my brother here, we're proud of this country.
It's about the people, you know, and the flag is the reason, and it's the state, but it's the people coming together. You know what I mean, isn't it? You know the guy named Elvis that ran 27 miles out of the canyon, you know? Do you know the 4 triathletes that got together and worked it out so that they could run the flag, you know? I mean, you know the 1,200 kids that were over the top of Globe and, you know, cheering on, and they grabbed the flag and they went up and let them run around with it, and, you know, do you know about the 40, you know, Army guys?
I've earned my sin, nearly spent my soul. I've lost my way until now. On the world's edge, I have found a door. On the world's edge, I can see again. So let my ship sail like Brendan's. Let it carry me home. towards the island of light.
You would think that it'd be a silly thing driving 5 miles an hour across the state of New Mexico, or any state at all, just in order to deliver a flag, have a flag, or have people run with the flag. And although the idea seems silly, somehow that becomes a part of you.
Wow, what a sight. I mean, after everything that's happened, to see that flag coming up, cresting over the hill.
To think about that American flag being carried by Americans across this country, it's humbling.
You're looking... You're looking at the soul of America.
Let it carry me home. And may the three guide my passage towards the island of home. I've earned my sin, nearly spent my soul. I've lost my way,